Game started.
Alex, 82, from the US. So let's see, E4, D4. How about C4, the English opening? Haven't played that in a while. Okay, a immediate E5 means we're going into a reverse Sicilian setup of some kind. Got kind of a dragon formation. But, well, black is playing very simply, just developing his pieces and castling. It's probably fine. I'm going to continue with this setup here. I'm going to develop my knight and castle. As long as there's no reason to play E3, I'll defer that and keep this diagonal open. He's put up a pawn on C6 to blunt the bishop, and maybe he's going to play, or maybe he's considering D5 and then settled on D6 here. A little bit of a cramped position for white. I should be comfortable here. And then with the pawn still on E7, this pin is not as annoying. So, should I immediately expand on the queenside? That may be an idea. Rook B1, pawn to B5. See if I can open something up over here. Aha. So he's counterattacking immediately. So if I go B5 now, maybe he will play C5 and just close the position up. I'll still have some pressure on the diagonal, and if he takes, then I'll take back with the knight and get an open B file. That's my plan. Okay, so now black is starting to think he's got to develop his knight somehow, or he's got to decide what to do on the queen side. Okay, so he leaves it open. So if I take, he takes back with a pawn. There's an open B file, but maybe no immediate way for me to take advantage of it. Let's, before I take, if I can, put my rook on B1 anyway. And he can't play C5 because I can just take on B7 with the... No, I can't take on C7. He could play C5, but I'll still have some pressure there maybe. And on other moves, I'll probably just take on C6. In a way, I don't want him to take back with a pawn because this backwards B pawn is a target for me, but I think I'm going to have to take at some point. So let's do it now. And then think about the D5 pawn. If I take, he can take with the knight or the pawn. Say knight first, knight takes, pawn takes. And then he's got two pawns in the center. And we've got a big open. If I wait for him to take, and I take back, I'll have these kind of funny isolated pawns. Maybe it's not too bad though. I'll have this some sort of pressure on this diagonal still. And if he pushes forward, he can get some big space advantage in the center maybe. Let's see. How about the bishop here? Maybe I can get some pressure against the e-pawn if he doesn't do anything. Yeah, so he pushes on. Now, where does the knight go? One of those questions I should have answered beforehand. The knight can go to this square or to this square. It looks like that's it. These are all taken. And the knight doesn't look too appealing over here or over here. So if he plays over here, he can take. If he doesn't take, I can drop back down to... I think this is better than putting it out on the rim. I didn't see from A4, B6, and c5 are covered by his knight. So over here I suffer pawn damage. So probably I made some mistake along the way. Maybe bishop b7 wasn't accurate. Now this is interesting. I guess I want to take with the bishop. I don't want this to become a passed pawn, so I want to keep my e-pawn here to be able to challenge this guy. I'm not sure why he took. Maybe he just didn't have a good role for that bishop. Really don't know. So if I play e3, and no, I don't want to play e3 until I can take back with a piece there. Maybe queen d2, pawn to e3, takes, queen takes, or pushes, queen takes. But if he just plays c5, then I have to take, and he takes, and he gets a protected passed pawn. So I have to be careful about a move like that. Okay, so he's going for some sort of activity on the B file too. Let's lift up the queen. Where does the queen want to go? D3 or D2? D3, it defends the C pawn. And maybe his idea is to attack, undermine the C pawn. Queen could come out this way, put pressure on his backward C pawn. Let's try this. This looks like a more active move. I'm hitting a couple of loose pawns here. And I don't want to be stuck completely in a defensive role. So, bishop. Bishop here. I guess I'm not going to be able to get much pressure on this pawn, am I? But if he takes, I'll take back, and I'll have control of the B file once again. Maybe I can play my rook to. Yeah, he's connecting his rooks too. Not a bad idea. Rook b5 takes, queen takes. Maybe pawn takes. And he can bring his rook over. And if he doesn't take, then I can double my rooks on the B file. And it also puts some pressure on there. So, okay, so pawn takes. If he pushes the C pawn, yeah, this may be a positional mistake, right? He's got to pass C pawn. But at the moment, it's pinned against the bishop, which is undefended. So let's consider. The knight's a bit loose. Let's hit the knight and then bring a rook over, and then maybe I could just gang up on this C pawn. That gains a tempo, doesn't it? Yeah, if I go here to defend the pawn, he can kick it with g3. Where can I go? I guess I have to go back here and defend the e pawn. I don't want to lose another pawn, but I'm starting to worry about the c pawn now. I was chasing his knight away so that I could bring my rook over and attack this c pawn. He's just going to gang up and win my b pawn. Okay, let's hold on to the b pawn for a minute. Maybe queen to c2 is in the cards. If he plays h4, I want to be able to play g4. Okay, so he is ganging up on those guys. Maybe g4 now. Okay, so queen here was my idea. So I've got 2 pieces on this pawn. If I can just bring the rook over, I'll have a 3rd piece. And he's just penetrating on the or trying to penetrate on the h-file. So it looks like he can win the g-pawn. Rook here, knight takes, bishop takes, rook takes, and then I can play here. And if I can get the c-pawn in exchange, I'll take that. Ah, he doesn't want it. He only wants it under his own terms, huh? Not under the terms I offered. Okay. Well, let's blockade the c-pawn at least. Maybe now bishop b7 again and pawn to a4 to support my advanced b-pawn. We'll both have passed pawns. Yeah, interesting game. A little bit of sort of tactical maneuvering. Take, take, take. Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's any breakthrough. He can bring his knight back to d7 and defend these pawns. That's probably pretty good. He can try and put more pressure on my b-pawn, but then I'll grab his c-pawn. And if he makes sort of a nothing move, I can play bishop b7 and pawn to a4, and I won't have to worry about my b-pawn anymore. So my only really horrible piece is this bishop here, which is a big fat pawn. But it is kind of holding things together over here. But that's why I wasn't so much worried about losing a pawn and trading it for that knight. That's probably a good piece here, this knight. His bad bishop is the dark squared bishop. So if I can get rid of his knight for my bad bishop, even at the cost of a pawn, I might be willing to do that. So he's thinking here. How long? Okay, he moved. Aha, trading queens. Do I want to trade queens here? I guess I will allow the queen trade. I don't see a problem with it. Because I get in the move a4 to defend the b-pawn. That was the main idea. And now, let's see, I can bring my king over to the center. Yeah, so he's defending this pawn, and then he can go for yeah, that's going to be good. He can go knight to here, hitting my rook and the a pawn that I just played. And let's see, is there any way to defend against that? If I take here, I guess I have to drop back immediately so that I get over here to defend my a pawn. But this allows, unfortunately, this allows him to start pushing his c-pawn. Yep. So anyway, let's take out the bishop, which is going to become a force here in a minute. And then start getting my king over. My bishop can now become active, however, when we're down to just a rook and a pawn. So pawn here, pawn here, rook over. And he takes this a pawn. I can't really prevent that. Maybe I should play I need to really get my king over before I play e3 to try and undermine these pawns. Pawn here, king over, pawn here, king here. I don't get there in time, 8 queens. So pawn over king over pawn here. Well, rook back would work. Maybe that's a little better. It holds on to the a pawn for a little bit longer. Gets my king to a better square. That doesn't work. Oh. No. He just needs to push. So he has a different idea. He's going to win this pawn. Yeah, no, I could have just pushed the c pawn. I'm pretty sure. So if we take, and start going after these pawns. Now I have the move e3. No, I don't have the move e3. Here, I'll play this move. If I play e3, he can play d7. Maybe I need to play that anyway. I need to free up my bishop. If he plays d3, I can take the c pawn. And at least my bishop gets into the game. Okay, time to think again. Just moving a pawn. Okay, so let's go for, let's see if we can get the bishop to a better square. Maybe bishop to c4 would be nicely defending against this pawn over here coming through. Now let's take a pawn. And let's see, here to here maybe, or here to here. Check, and then here.
Check.
This might still be losing. I'm thinking I can win a piece, but he has so many passed pawns here that it may not help. But I don't see any other chance. I don't see. Oh, he didn't. He did not go for that. Yes, that's dangerous. So where do I go? I go here with the king. If I can get over and round up this pawn, maybe I'll be okay too. But that's going to be hard. Because wherever I go, for example, if I step here and then take the pawn, he pushes. No, I can do that. Let's do that. If he pushes now, I take here. If he does something else, I can. Well, he can move. Can he move his knight somewhere? He can't defend this pawn. So get one of these dangerous pawns. He's going to get my bishop. Yeah, maybe I should have. Yeah, this is a winning king and pawn endgame for black. Because, unfortunately, I can never take these pawns. And I don't have any breakthroughs. Okay, I resign here. Oh, it's an interesting game.
Resigns.
I will upload this and do a postmortem. See you guys later.